Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it's time for one of the vlogs with Mikey. I don't know how many more we're going to do of these because, again, he's going to have a new situation. Filming this much might not be easy coming up. So enjoy them while you can, guys, but you've had over 3 months of these, so it's a lot for people to learn. All right, we started out the week with a closed grip bench press against mini bands, right? I don't recall the exact weight he did here. I know what he did on his squat this week. But he did say his shoulders are starting to irritate him a bit. So I think we're going to rotate these dips out soon. Now it looks like the files that he sent me got sent out of order. And since they got sent out of order to me, they got thrown into my folder out of order when I ripped them all. So we actually did dips before incline. And again, man, the number of people who in the comments last time, and then other lifters had to come defend it, who were like, oh, that's not even, it's like, that's totally an incline angle, right? That's an incline angle. Because he's on such a steep incline and still using his arch. Again, people make a big deal about stuff that doesn't matter. All the people complaining he probably benches more. He floor presses more than you. So what are you guys talking about? The guys who are saying this nonsense, oh, his arch and this and that. It's like, you guys have watched him floor press like 340, 350. Floor press. Okay? Come on. Act like your pressing strength is higher than his unless it really is. Dips, I know he's going pretty heavy on these dips. I think he might have more than one plate on there. I think he's got 2 plates. Again, Mike's pretty strong at chest pressing at this point. Although we're at a point now where with what we're doing, we may start having to do more shoulder work. We've talked about running a phase of doing most of his supplemental pressing with incline and overhead. We may need to do that because we are concerned about a little bit of shoulder weakness. You know, and for him, it was chest weakness historically because he has big arms and big triceps. His triceps are never a weak link. And even when we test his closed grip, it's always within 10 pounds of his wide grip bench, right? That arch and everything aside, because we lose a lot of that when we close grip. He's only like 10 pounds difference. So triceps are not a problem for him. We just keep training him with the movement that he seems to really get a lot of response from. I don't vary his tricep training because I don't need to. They're not a weak link for him. He responds to JM presses. All right, so we just do variations of the JM press pretty much year round. We just do it year round. We are going to change a little bit of his back stuff coming up though, again, just to avoid overuse. Looks like he's short stroking these pull-ups a little bit this time. He wasn't. He was getting better. But, you know, it is what it is. As a coach, I'm not overly concerned. Are we still getting the level of fatigue? Is it close enough to a full range of motion? Sure. Again, some of these hypertrophy movements like this, I'm not overly concerned about it. If he's comfortable with it, he is. I'd like to see a little more range of motion, though. But I'm not going to bust his balls over it hard. His snatch grip high pulls are getting super heavy. I think he's up to 335 for these sets of 6s. Right? He's over 300 pounds on these. His shoulder girdle has gotten a lot bigger and stronger. And again, I tell a lot of you guys, this is one of the best that you can do. If you're a natty who wants to get yoked and you're not on gear, and that's really important to you, snatch grip high pulls are king. We're just thickening up your entire shoulder girdle. You know, get strong at those. Of course, then he does his pin leg rows. We're taking these out next block to wider grip. I think we're gonna have him do one more week of dips, and we're gonna go to floor press, and then we may talk about you know, a phase of extra shoulder specialization. And I know his shoulders are big on certain areas as a result of the snatch grip high pulls, but we still need to look at stuff like front delts more and upper chest. Again, just for benching purposes. Even though, again, we're more deadlift specializing right now. Next block coming in, though, he's going to start doing block pulls. All right, we're going to start doing block pulls. That will help him with his deadlift situation. He's strong enough to deadlift what we want to deadlift. It's not a muscle or basic strength issue. It's that he needs better technique as far as getting tight and pulling into the right positions and pulling through. All right, that was grindy. His ones ramping up to that look cleaner, but that was a big PR. For those curious, that's 430 on a cambered bar box. We're getting pretty respectable at this point. Oh, he's got another one. I say there's 2 in here. I'm not sure if this one is heavier or lighter. We'll look at it and tell. I'm not sure which one is which now that I'm seeing the files in here. So let's look and see what he hits here. If it looks prettier, then we know it was a ramp up and they got sent to me out of order. But if not, then, you know, we'll see what it looks like. I'm gonna watch it here. Yeah, he didn't control the eccentric. This is all out max for him. Whew, it's everything he had. And, you know, again, we want to control the eccentric better than that, even on a max. We don't want to plop on the box like that. Again, all out max took everything he had, so to some extent that's excusable, but be careful with that, right? We need to be able to control that eccentric. And if we can't, that's a posterior chain weakness, right? Posterior chain weakness. And that's a lot of what we're dealing with, because, I mean, Mike's got quads. You know, we're dealing with a point where his squatting is as strong as his deadlifts. Crashed into that box on those two heavy singles. He got the lifts, don't get me wrong. He came from a dead pause and then was able to grind it out with minimal rocking. So we know he can squat more than that. Need to test his back squat soon. Test it and see where he's at. He said should be, I bet you he's at least 450, 455. Maybe more. Ironically, it'd be ironic if he's stronger than he is on his deadlift on it. But again, he's got quads, right? He's got adductors. We expect that. Of course, then we did the safety bar good mornings and then his reverse hypers. Now, I know he's got other work in here. I guess he did not send the video files for it, so I didn't get it. So it didn't get recorded. And that does happen sometimes. Occasionally we miss a lift, he forgets it, or he goes to film just one set and there's a problem with it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he has like some split squats in there. Pretty sure that he does, so I'm not sure. Yeah, they're in this program. I just tabbed over to look. So we just didn't get footage. So he's supposed to be doing split squats. So we won't get him on this week. But I know he's done some in the past already. And then again, we come over to the reverse hypers, a mainstay. I sound like a broken record talking about the reverse hyper because I say it over and over. Look, I'm just going to be honest with you. If you're 40 plus years old and you lift, you need a reverse hyper. And let's not act like you can't afford it. If you're 40 plus, you've got usually enough financial security and space and everything to get one of these. You need one. It is not optional. Oh, here's what happened with the split squats. The files got sent to me out of order. Files got sent out of order. Oh, there's Grandpa. He told me Grandpa would be in some of the footage. And, yep. So let's see how these look. Pretty decent. Maybe we could get a hair lower. But what we're looking at here is, you know, once you're basically touching the bench, the only way you're getting lower then is to basically go on a lower bench or a lower block. So what we're looking at, though, is total knee angle is really what matters. So when I look at the total knee angle relative to a back squat, these are probably parallel to a hair above parallel. So in a perfect world, I'd like him to get a little deeper on these. He's still learning the movement. I use these myself right now. A few of my lifters use them. You know, people ask me that on single leg exercises, what do you prescribe? I actually prescribe up to 3 different types. I hate lunges personally, so I prescribe them the least. I don't like them. I occasionally prescribe lunges. The majority of the single leg movements that I prescribe are split squats or weighted step ups, right? And I prescribe those to quite a few lifters, especially anyone who we might want to just make sure their quads are coming along. Because the thing to remember with my conjugate guys, we don't do any squatting outside of max and dynamic. So adding maybe once a week for these guys, we do that. Usually they're max effort days. If someone really needs quads like I'm doing right now, we would do a lot of quad work. Most of my lifters don't need that. Mike doesn't need that. So if we just do 3 sets on a max effort day, we're good. Right? We're good. That's all he needs. But he doesn't have a quad weakness, right? His squats are pretty much caught his deadlifts. He's got big quads. Quads are not hurting his strength right now. So they just need a little bit of work. And then, of course, speed bench. Speed bench always goes well for him. He's always fast on it. It's a strong point for him. And the incline, I think he's working with like 185 or so. 4 sets of 10 on this. He might be heavier than that, or he might be up to 190. I need to plug it in and check. I need to go back and check. But again, getting respectable at it. Getting respectable at it. And again, his upper chest is filling out even more, right? The pecs have gotten pretty big. And we might need to continue that trend of the upper chest and front delt. Just what I've seen with some of his bench misses, where I'm a little concerned about that, or where he grinds at. And we may need to prioritize his delts a little bit more. And it might be not only incline, but then overhead work to get him there. Then, of course, more JM presses. And then we're going to do his standard rotation of pull-ups, pin lay rows, snatch grip high pulls. Right? Which, again, I like that. For some of my really advanced guys, I like to do 3 angles like that. I like to do 3 angles like that. You guys see me do that with my own training sometimes, right? Really gets all the different musculature of the back. Because we have a vertical pull, a horizontal pull, and then we do stuff like a snatch grip high pull or something like that, or hang pulls and things. We really are working that entire upper to middle back from 3 different angles, puts different emphasis on different muscles more than others. It's just a good way to get phenomenal development, right? It's a good way to just get an entire jacked back, barring the lower back. But we've got deadlifts and good mornings and reverse hypers for that. So, but I like combinations like this. They work really, really well. It's just like with pressing sometimes. You guys see me do 3 angles of pressing. But with back, it benefits even more than the interior side does. So again, people always ask me, what's best? And I'm like, well, I always prescribe rows. I'm always going to push rows heavy for most lifters. But realistically, going both other directions as far as the shoulder angles away from rows, both higher and lower, it really has a lot of merit. And again, you look at a combination like this and you look at those movements and realize not a single part of his back anywhere between the bottom of his lat insertions all the way to the top of his traps is being neglected. Right? Everything is getting maximally developed. And this will give you a jacked back. And that's for some of you out there looking for ideas like, why isn't my back growing? I don't know. Have you tried pull-ups or chin-ups combined with a row variations and this stuff like snatch grip high pulls? Try the 3 together inside of your ability to recover. Your back will blow up. His back has gotten bigger. Shoulders have gotten bigger from all of it. All right, I think now we just need more posterior chain. It's good. We just need to get more glute and hamstring on him so we can get those deadlifts up more along with the technique. And then, of course, he did his speed squats. Again, he pausing this time. He knows I get mad when he taps the box. I have to yell at a lot of lifters about that. It's like, I know you're in a hurry. I know you're trying to go fast. I know that. But we need to come to a stop on that box. We're doing a box squat, not squatting to a box, even on speed work. Speed pulls are fast today, though. He's getting better at those. All right, working off the same percentages. And we need that. I need him to get faster because I need him to be able to explode through the bottom, right? We need that because that's where he really sticks. And so just exploding out of the bottom, extremely useful here. So I'm glad that we're seeing improvements there because that will carry over to where he sticks on the deadlift. And then, of course, after all the speed work, we only do 2 movements. We just do good mornings and reverse hypers because it's a lot of volume. When you start adding up all the sets, it's a lot of work, right? And again, we don't want to get totally destroyed. Again, drug-free lifter. Okay, and that's the difference here. We do have to be careful of overall volume a lot more. Have to be careful of it. But again, I like these 2 movements. Safety bar, good morning, and reverse hyper. Again, stuff that if you have access to, these are extremely valuable exercises. Extremely valuable. So again, a safety bar. I have a love-hate relationship with it. I hate using it. I hate it. It's uncomfortable. But my God, is it effective. Right? And it's so easy on your shoulders on top of it. No fatigue on your shoulders. And then everyone knows how I feel about the reverse hyper, which he finishes up with here. But that's really all I have to say on that today, guys. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.